Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Annie and this is Tentative Tarot. So for today's reading, we are going to be asking the cards, what secret is your intuition ready to reveal to you now? So just in case anyone is nervous, that is not in the least bit to suggest that you haven't been listening to your intuition or you were doing something wrong, that you weren't ready yet. It's just to highlight that today, right now, as you've clicked on this reading, your intuition is excited to connect with you and let you in on this secret. Okay? So if that sounds good, let's go ahead and look at your pile options for today. For pile number 1, we have the Tattoo Tarot with this piece of red calcite on top. I don't know if that's focusing. For pile number 2, we have the Crystal Visions Tarot, as well as this raw amethyst cluster on top. It really wants to zoom in on the Tattoo Tarot, so there you go, pile 1. The camera loves you. For pile number 3, we have the Tarot of the Divine, as well as this blue Apatite on top. And finally, for pile number 4, we have the Muse Tarot with this green Aventurine on top. Okay, so if you need to pause the video and take your time to figure out which pile you're going to choose, that is totally fine. You can do that now. But once you are ready, there will be timestamps down below, both in the description box and in the pinned comment. You can click on the link for the pile you selected, and I will see you there. Hi, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this red calcite and the Tattoo Tarot, welcome to your reading. I'm going to put the tarot deck to the side while we just get a sense of the topic at hand with these pre-shuffled oracle cards. So let's jump in. The question that we're looking at today is what secret message your intuition is ready to share with you. So we're going to get a sense of just what the topic is, what your intuition is going to be talking about from these cards here. So let's have a look. First we have, whoops, they're upside down, number 9, Uranus with Genius. Then we have number 2, Test. I don't know if that's focusing. We struggle. Okay, well hopefully you can see. Number 2, Test, and it just says look for a divine test. And then finally we have Bloodstone with Get Up, Get Moving. And that makes a lot of sense to me because I made a mental note to tell you that as I lit your candle, this red candle for your reading, right as I was starting, the flame went crazy. And you know, I enjoy a bit of fire magic myself, but it was definitely extreme, and it's still much bigger than these candles usually produce. So I was wondering whether there was either an influx of energy coming in, or you feel like you've got excess energy right now, and I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way, but we will see. But let's tap into these oracle cards here. So what is it? What is the topic that your intuition wants to speak to you about? I do get the sense that there is something that you are wanting to bring to the world, and perhaps it's different, perhaps it's genius. I'm thinking of that less in a, you know, commonly used sense, although by all means, if you're actually a genius, you do you, and also that's awesome. But I'm thinking of it more in this kind of Uranus sense, where it's like something that's unexpected, out of nowhere, putting things together in, you know, strange and different ways. I often think of it as like this extreme level of individuality and authenticity, where the things about you that are different, you commanding and taking up space in a way that literally only you can. I think that's often the power of Uranus. And, you know, when it shows up in our lives, it can often be this crazy shakeup and everything changes in ways that can be, you know, disturbing as well as exciting. But I think when, like, I'm reading it more as your kind of energy, or that your intuition wants to speak about, like, what you are and are capable of and what you're stepping into. So I think the main message here is that your intuition's wanting to tell you a secret about kind of what it is that you are ready to bring forward from your own, you know, unique, authentic individuality. Yeah. This energy of looking for a divine test is interesting to me. I don't love this card in this deck because I don't love that phrasing. Divine test is not my favorite way to think of the divine. And in fact, one that I think can be more combative in our relationship with the divine than is strictly necessary. However, I think what's the point of this here is that you, like, what your intuition is wanting to share a secret with you about is something that you are maybe ready for, that you have not realized that you're ready for, right? Like this deeper or higher level of individuality and authenticity, and just the energy and momentum behind it that you've perhaps thought you were not ready for, or maybe, you know, other people haven't received, or you think they won't receive, or whatever it is. But I don't think so much that the divine is giving you a test as much as maybe you feel like, oh, like I'm being presented with an opportunity that feels like it's coming from outside of me to really share these parts of myself that perhaps I've thought or other people have labeled as strange or different or odd or something like that, that turns out are, in fact, your unique genius. Let's see, any other messages from the oracle cards about what this is about? I really just do keep looking at this bloodstone and thinking about that candle fire. I think even if you don't necessarily like feel these other energies, I think what you probably feel, or how you'll know this is for you, or what we can assume this is about, is like a huge surge of energy. So like I said, you're either feeling that now or it's coming. But I get the sense that you feel restless, or you feel like there's something you need to do or to make or to say or something, but there's energy that's kind of flowing through you, and you feel like you need to get up and do something with it, and let it move. So like, again, even if none of the other messages resonated, I think if you even just feel this strange surge of energy that you're not sure what to do with, or you've been trying to think of what to do with it, or you're afraid to do something with it, or whatever it is, I think this is your message. So that's what the divine wants to, or your intuition, excuse me, wants to share a secret about. Yeah, so this secret that you're ready to hear, let's find out what it is. So we're going to get into the tarot. I'm going to pull, you know, to be honest, this deck is quite thick. That was better than I was expecting. So we're going to pull about 5 cards to see what secret message your intuition is ready to share with you about this. For pile 1. Okay. Can we see all of those? Yes. Do we have most of the nudity covered? All of it, actually. Thank you, Tattoo Tarot, for doing that. Beautiful. And we have Knave of Cups or Page of Cups on the bottom. Okay. So let's see, what is this secret message from your intuition about this? Wow. Okay. I mean, first of all, I guess I didn't say what we have. We have Death, the Chariot, the Nine of Coins or Nine of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Star. So for anyone familiar with tarot, that's 4 major arcana, which does not make sense given the proportions of the deck, where you've got about a fifth of the deck, a little bit more, but about a fifth of the deck would be major arcana. So you'd expect about one of these, probability-wise, to come out major arcana. So the fact that you've got 4 is a wild. This is just beautiful, though. So I think, I mean, first of all, with this Chariot card, I know I'm sort of jumping ahead, but we'll come back to the Death card. With this Chariot card, that really echoes this energy, right? So certainly we have like confirmation here, if nothing else, of the fact that probably you are feeling this energy and you're ready to move forward with it. All right, so what's the secret? The secret is, first of all, that wherever you've been, you've left it behind. So whether or not you feel ready, like maybe you do feel like you're in a position where the divine is testing you or something, and do you have the courage or the strength or the ability or whatever? If there is a test, I think the test is to realize that actually, that you're ready, that whatever was before is done, it's gone. I don't always get that strong sense with this Death card, but here it just feels so final. It feels like whatever was going on here, it's absolutely over. I suspect there was a whole lot of bravery, I think, for whatever it is you left behind. I'm sort of seeing you as this, fun skeleton guy here. I don't know why we're not focusing today. So sad. It's like cover everything else up. Okay, well, there you go. There's this sense that you are this skeleton, and you're done with whatever masks you're wearing, whatever life you had before, in reference to this situation. It doesn't have to be all of it. It could be just a facet of yourself. Probably there's an external component to that. Could be relationship, could be job, could be group of friends, could be location, could be any number of things, right? But I think regardless, what you've done, though, is quote unquote, and a component of yourself that was really preventing you from living the life that you wanted to live. And that probably took insane bravery and all of that. Probably there was a lot of pain and loss and whatnot to get you to that point. But regardless, that's kind of, it's on the kind of closest to the past side of this spread here, right? If we kind of go from past to present to future. We don't have to read it that way, but I'm kind of seeing this as like, just letting you know that the first part of the secret is that chapter is totally closed. You've become this new person, or you're in process of stepping into it. But either way, you're not going to fall back into that in any consistent or serious or habitual way, because you are not who you were in a really final way. I think what I suspect is that since then you've really been moving forward and you've really created something solid for yourself. Now I know this is Pentacles, and a lot of people read this in a really financial way, and it certainly could be. But I get the sense more so that you are, it can be that, right? But I think the more important point here is that because of this work you've done and moving forward after this release, you've really allowed yourself to see things you hadn't seen in yourself before. Like I'm looking at the 2 horses, right? The white and the black, and seeing, thinking of this black probably as some of that shadow material, and shadow not necessarily in a negative way, but more so in just whatever was hidden. I think often when we have this situation with mask wearing, what it's kind of trying to cover up is these parts of ourselves that we think are unacceptable or just are hiding in the shadows. It doesn't even have to be unacceptable. It could be something that's so precious, or we're not ready to share it, or we don't even know it about ourselves fully. We haven't come into it, right? It doesn't have to be dark per se. But I think what I'm seeing here is that you've got all of that energy, and you've been making this beautiful and courageous effort to move forward with all of you. And that could be externally, of course. I mean, often the Chariot has that aspect to it. Say but, and whatever, however you want to look at it. The stronger message I'm getting is that at least for you, like even if nobody else has known or seen, at least in its fullness, you've known that you're moving forward with all of yourself, and you've really tried to give light to these parts of yourself that were kept hidden, right? And what that's done is has allowed you to build a very, very, very stable foundation. And again, that could be financial, but I think the more important point here is it feels like it's yours. It feels like you've listened to your body. You've listened to what you need. You've created a safe space for yourself, and you've done that enough and clearly enough that that's not even just in a like survival way or in a, you know, getting away from people who are causing you problems way or soothing your nervous system way. I mean, I do think that was true, but I think by the time you get to the Nine of Pentacles, there's really a lot of joy and establishment in your own self. There's this, I guess I'm going to say like enjoyment of yourself, the things that matter to you. There's this quote unquote perfection. Oops, sorry. Hello. Bumping the table a bunch. Getting so excited for you. Not being stable. There's my, I'm channeling that excited energy that, okay, we're stable. Let's do something. There's this enjoyment of you and who you are. There's this perfection in the sense of completion, right? Of you saying, oh, this is who I am. I feel stable enough. I feel my nervous system soothed enough that I can really focus on what feels good to me, focus on my values, listen to myself, and be really self-directed. And again, this could be external, or it could be internal, or it could be both. I suspect there are components of both here, but I do think that it's like, it feels like a foundation more than a like full flowering, if that makes sense. I just had this image of kind of you as a flower, but you're in this kind of garden whose gates haven't opened yet, right? And we're wanting to open these gates. So the secret here is your foundation is set, that you've left whatever this was behind, and what you've done to move forward, the energy that you've used so far has built this firm foundation. And I want to say, and it's completed. That doesn't mean you'll never have to tend to it again, right? But I think like part of this secret is you're good, you're done, you checked that box, and your intuition, I think, first of all, feels like it can be heard. Which is, I mean, I think it's grateful and thankful for the work that you've done. And it's excited to get to know you better, spend more time with you in a way that doesn't feel, in fact, like a divine test, that feels instead like a beautiful unfolding or like welcoming other people in a way that feels safe and right to you into your garden to see this full blossoming. But basically, it's all there. So I guess the second part of the secret is whatever it is you've been trying to set up, this foundation for yourself, this new version of yourself, the foundation is fully and utterly and completely there. So then we move into this, the sun and the star here. It's amazingly gorgeous. The next part of the secret, if there is some kind of love connection that you're looking for, it's very much coming. It's so interesting because I know we said we were talking about this, like get up, get moving. I don't necessarily think what's happening here is that the get up, get moving is you moving towards somebody, though it certainly could be. But if there's already someone in your life, I get the sense that whatever it is you're doing with this get up, get moving, part of the secret that your intuition's wanting to tell you, and you might already know or feel this, but like your happiness is secured here with this situation, okay? That's only for those of you who that message would resonate for. But if it does, your happiness is absolutely secured. Like, there's nothing else that you need to do. I don't mean like you won't engage, interact, need to figure out how to be in a happy, union or partnership or relationship or whatever it is with this person now that you have this different, stable foundation, if that resonates for you. So in that sense, you'll be quote unquote doing something. But I don't think this get up, get moving is directed towards this person. I think what you need to do is focus on channeling this individuality, and what your intuition wants you to know is that in and of itself is drawing in this person. I also got a strong message that for those of you who it's not about love, or a particular person or something like that, I also am getting a strong message of deep friendship or companionship, and specifically about like a sibling. So if you have a sibling that you are close to, I'm getting the message that you might be working together, or you might just be spending more time together. But there's this sense of joining together in a strong way. So perhaps it is working together, moving in together. Maybe, you and your sibling are going to get a new apartment or house together. But whatever that is, it's very blessed. It will bring a lot of joy. I also keep getting the message that regardless of which of these messages, if any, resonate for you, it feels very much like the clouds are parting. So like your intuition is wanting to share with you that if there's been any confusion in relation to any type of relationship in your life, or even if you just want to take the sun in a broader, like happy, joyful way, there's some amount of enjoyment, as I said, that you've already been inhabiting. But I think like if you felt like the fullness of that joy, or the kind of being out in the open, being seen, if that's giving you pause, or you felt like, why isn't it fully here yet or something, your intuition is wanting you to know, like the clouds are parting, the sun is coming out. I'm hearing that kind of like, energy here. Whatever is coming for you, however you're wanting to claim this sun energy, and it can be in multiple ways, you're really going to actually feel really viscerally in the fullness of yourself the happiness and joy that you've built this foundation for. I hope this is on so many levels for you, but I really cannot shake the feeling with these two figures here that it is somehow shared. So this could also be with a friend group. It doesn't have to be one other person. It can be in some sort of work capacity if that's meaningful to you. It can be finding a soul family, something like that. But whatever it is, I do think you're being fully seen and appreciated. So the secret is just you standing in this beautiful, independent, authentic energy, and kind of say like not worrying about anybody else, but in the sense that you're just embracing your fullness kind of on no one else's terms. That's what's drawing this in, and this being drawn in is going to bring that immense joy for you. And I want to say, maybe this is an unnecessary message, so maybe this is just for me, but in case it resonates for anyone else, I think sometimes we can get messaging that's like, well, why am I not happy on my own? Like, why isn't it enough for me to be just on my own? It is, and it can be, and I think you've had a lot of joy, but it's okay if for you, or for in this instance or something like that, the fullness of your joy is something that you can, quote unquote, in this circumstance, only feel when it's shared. I don't think that means you never feel joy on your own. I suspect that you do. But I think there's something really beautiful being honored here about saying that when you see that joy and that love like reflected in someone else's eyes, that really allows you to come into the fullness of your joy. I saw 2323 in case that number is meaningful, and I just saw 2332 on the camera timer. So the point here to me is that it's mirrored, right? So it's like this beautiful energy of yours. It's going to be mirrored by someone or some, multiple other people. And it's okay if that's needed in this instance for you to feel like a true fulfillment of the joy, echoing this foundation you've built. So that's beautiful. Your intuition's really coming in strongly here, saying like, just keep holding on, because this is absolutely coming, like in the imminent future. I mean, maybe not tomorrow, maybe tomorrow for some of you. But even if it's not tomorrow, it's the more you feel into this energy, whether that's visualizing something with others or someone else for yourself, and or whether that's really just leaning into how good it feels to be you in the world. This is coming. This is absolutely coming, because the world will reflect the energy that you're in. And finally, we've got this star card here. You know, of course, there's deep healing with the star, but that's not the biggest thing I'm getting. I'm getting such a strange vision, but I'll share it in case it's meaningful, and we'll try to see if we can get something grounded from it, because it is not a grounded vision. But what I'm seeing, I just saw 2552, so the synchronicities and the mirroring continue. What I see for you, like what I'm seeing, is kind of you almost like raising up into the sky, whether that's like ascending in some sense. My eyes are being drawn to these tattoos, like almost like it almost feels like a cloak coming off or a cape coming off. You know what it's like? It's like the scene in Beauty and the Beast when the Beast transforms or something. But it's like this cloak falls off of you, and the truth of who you are shines, but in this way that feels, sure, maybe it's quote unquote weird or unique or whatever it is, but that's not the strongest energy that's coming through. The strongest energy is this like purity, this innocence, this like you're glowing. I feel like the power of all of the different energies. If you enjoy astrology, right, all the planets, all those energies together, kind of saying like, look, you made right with all of us. We're all here with you, and we're embracing you in the fullness of what you are. It feels like your emotions are flowing in a comfortable, happy way. It feels like you just as a person are able to flow. Whatever parts of you felt like they needed to be held back or were stagnant, or you really felt like you had to channel them in some intentional way to build something, your intuition is coming through to say all of that is going to flow. Like, I just see so much ease. And this image I have of you, transforming or ascending or whatever it is, I do feel like others are watching, but I feel this like really, I would say private, but like sacred to you moment where it's kind of like you are this person ascending and you can sort of see yourself at the same time. And you're recognizing kind of your own true nature. So I think, part of this message, part of this secret that you're ready to hear is, I think having that, the beauty of what you are mirrored back to you by other people in the world in a really like concrete, loving way is part of what's going to allow you to see yourself in the fullness of your beauty. And that's not wrong or bad, and it also doesn't mean you like need or to rely on any particular person or people for that. I think it's simply help in that way, where it's like, oh, thank you for holding up the mirror, because now I really, truly can see. And I just see you, standing in your beauty. I see you as royalty. It's like this star here, which I know it's meant to be a star, but it feels like a crown. And it doesn't feel like that, like, oh, look at me, I'm a king or a queen or gender neutral monarch, as they say. It feels like this, just like, oh, I'm me and I'm in flow. And that in and of itself, like that beautiful, authentic energy is going to glow forth from you. So you just being with and right with yourself and seeing yourself clearly is going to be what gives off that energy, commands that respect and all of these things without you, consciously intending it. So that's beautiful energy. So just to recap, the secrets from your intuition that you're ready to hear. What's been done is completely gone. Like there's a period on that sentence. Whatever it is, you healed, you worked through, you ended in yourself, whatever mask you removed, it's gone. The work that you've done to set up your foundation is also complete. Like you're here and you're ready. So you keep doing you keep focusing on this. If you have this excess energy still, this like get up, get moving, kind of that intense fiery energy that we saw before, as much as you can, channel it into absolutely loving what it is you're doing in your life and what you're building. That can be like one particular project, or it can be many different things, but whatever it is, I think it's for you, and I think it's a further expression of yourself. So kind of as I was saying, like me seeing you in this garden and maybe people haven't been welcomed in yet, keep tending to that. Make your garden as unique as possible. I just saw 111 on the camera timer. Really find as much joy and as much space for you to output that energy and that passion into being yourself as you can. And you're going to see that reflected back to you. And that's going to allow you to see yourself clearly, to see what it is that you've always been, but that it's been hard for you to fully embody, right? For whatever reason. It could be for many, many reasons. I'm also getting the message that if part of what it is that you're building and doing in this Nine of Pentacles energy, right, something that you're doing with this energy, if it is something that involves other people, that's okay. Me saying it's this garden that's protected or something, that doesn't mean it doesn't involve anyone else, right? Most of us engage with other people throughout our days, right? So whether this is a partnership that you're already in, a family, your children, your parents, whatever, whether this is your community, this is others at work, clients, it doesn't matter. Invest in whatever it is you're doing. The point here is not that it doesn't involve other people, but it's that it's for you. It's a true expression of your authenticity, right? This doesn't have to be in every area. If you have certain areas where you're not ready to do that, also okay, right? But what you're doing is you're following this energy from your intuition that you've obviously already been following. But if you're feeling it in this passionate, energetic way, that's okay, and that's good in this case. That's right. That's aligned, if you will. I don't want to put like a value judgment on it, but it's aligned, right? And so your intuition is wanting you to really lock into that energy and allow yourself to feed that fire, that passion, that excitement, that joy into being your true, authentic self and enjoying that in whatever way and with whomever you do. If there is some kind of mirroring that has been lacking, even if this involves a lot of other people, that mirroring is coming, right? And that's going to allow you to see the true fullness of yourself. So just hang on. That joy is absolutely coming. Your intuition is so excited for you to share this with you, to share with you that you're ready and ready to accept and embrace it. I think too that you can receive this level of love and mirroring from someone else or from multiple other people, right? I think that's part of what's going to allow you to step into this beautiful star energy we talked about, is realizing that it's completely and perfectly fine if part of your happiness is seeing it reflected in someone else's eyes. It's making me think of something my therapist once told me, that, when wounding happens in relationship, it makes sense that part of the healing journey would be in relationship also. I don't necessarily see this as quote unquote a healing step in the sense that that's all it is, but I think whatever it is, it will be incredibly healing and transformative, to be honest, because I think you'll feel a deep joy and being seen in a way you probably haven't before. So let's just see whether there's anything I missed, whether there are any final messages from your intuition about this secret or even about anything else. Any final messages from your intuition before we wrap things up? Okay, so we've got beautiful, the Ace of Cups. Oh, I swear, the focus though. We've got the Ace of Cups and we've got Judgment. Oh, come on. I gotta come up with a better thing to do here. So sad. There we go. The Judgment card. That's so funny because as I was speaking about this, this sun, I was thinking about how Judgment comes next. So there you go. The final message from your intuition. I'm honestly kind of overwhelmed by the energy. You are holy. You are sacred. You are pure. The blood, the energy running through you is divine. You have guides, angels, ancestors, whatever it is you believe in, or just positive energy surrounding you. You are coming to a place of immense peace in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul. And it's because of the work that you did. Like, I feel this immense gratitude from your intuition. This very, very, very strong thank you for trusting you, for trusting me, for trusting the divine. Again, like whatever that process has been for you, whatever it is you believe in. Thank you for listening to your heart. Thank you for walking this path. You just have such an incredible, pure, beautiful energy, and that is what's allowing you to step into, has allowed you to step into the new life you already have, but that is what's allowing you to step into this new energy. And this, this passion, this drive that you've unlocked, if you will, is unlocked because of the work that you've done, because you've created this foundation. It's given you this gift of energy. So thank you, thank yourself, give yourself a giant hug. Your intuition is so excited for you to now get to see what it looks like for you to expand that out into the world and have it reflected in whatever way feels really right and grounded to you. This is not about you kind of taking a risk and doing something that feels scary. It doesn't feel like that at all, actually. It feels like you stepping into a place of wisdom and knowledge and awareness of yourself, of staying true to your inner compass and wisdom and self-knowledge. It feels calm, honestly. I know I said it's like an intense energy, and it is, but I feel like you have the ability to channel it. And maybe that's the final secret message here, is you're ready to channel this level of immense energy. Right? I said this flame was very big, but it's still here. It's, being channeled. And I think you've got the ability to do that. And that is what is propelling you into this brand new life that, though you've really built this whole foundation, I think the final message is you have no idea. You cannot even fathom what's waiting for you. And that's, for once, I want to say, a good thing, a beautiful thing, an exciting thing. Okay. So I think those are all of the messages that I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that the messages resonated for you. If they did and you want to comment, subscribe, share, whatever it is that pleases you, feel free to do that. I would love to connect with you. But regardless, again, thank you so much for being here. I am sending you all my best, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose the Crystal Visions Tarot and this piece of Amethyst, welcome to your reading. going to put these to the side, and we are going to look at some pre-shuffled oracle cards to find out what this message is going to be about. So again, the question is, what secret message is your intuition ready to reveal? So we're going to find out what that message is about, and you can see whether that's something you'd like to hear about today. So let's get started. The first card we have is number 46, Grand Trine, Blessings. The next card we have is number 42, Sneaky Person, with the message, a person with a questionable moral compass. And finally we have Agate, Get Back into Balance. Before I look into these cards specifically, I did also want to add a couple things before I forget. The first thing is that this morning as I was waking up and my eyes were still closed, I started having many visions, especially of birds. So if you either are somebody who gets lots of visions, that could help confirm this reading is for you. I do get visions sometimes, but it was definitely extreme this morning. So right away I thought that might be related to this reading. Also, if birds are important to you, whether that's like getting messages from birds or you have a pet bird or something like that, your, spirit guides send you messages in the form of birds, whatever that is, particularly owls, possibly also hawks, eagles, and crows I got, but owls the strongest, multiple kinds. Anyway, I was seeing many of them kind of flying in and landing. I also got the sense that whatever this is, it's something to do with your psychic abilities, with visions. This could be something like you're seeing coming, like you have had some sort of prophetic vision or dream or idea. And it could also be just that you're somebody who has, as I said, kind of strong visions or strong experiences in that space regularly. That's not about like one particular incident, but that's something that is just true for you in general. So whatever the case, I wanted to put that out there. Okay, so looking at these cards, very interesting. Starting with that Blessings, and we had a Sneaky Person, and then we were seeing we need to get back into balance. So what is going on here? What is your intuition wanting to give you a message about? The first thing that's coming through is the message is possibly going to be about how to get back into balance. I wonder whether you've had just a lot going on, both positively and negatively. Of course, many people have things going on in a neutral sense, but I think here, seeing this Grand Trine as well as this Sneaky Person, and like this deck doesn't have a ton of negative cards in it, right? So like the fact that we've got this questionable moral compass card here makes me think there's been some harder things going on. I do want to say, I'm getting the message that you might be worried that this is you. If that's the case, I do not think, I'm not getting the message for the vast majority of you that you have a questionable moral compass. But I want to say, if there's something that you're doing right now that you're hiding, and maybe that's not your norm, or maybe you feel sort of bad about it, or you're not sure how people would feel about whatever it is you're doing, or something like that. Your intuition is coming through to tell you that what you're doing is right, and what you're protecting is worth protecting, and you are like correctly aware that other people might not understand or support you. So I don't know what that's about, or if the message is going to be about that, but that did come through, so I wanted to add that. With this Blessings card, it is possible that what you're hiding is blessings. Like, it could be that right now you've had many blessings come in whatever way, and you're being asked to hide that. I don't think that's for the majority of you, but that's there in case that resonates for you. The message I'm getting more here from this Grand Trine card, especially the configuration on it, right, that it's got that like triangle coming down, which is the symbol for water, the triangle specifically. I get the sense that blessings are coming, and I do think, like, I am getting the strong message that you intuitively know this. Again, this could be through visions, all of that, like I said before, but this could just be a feeling you have sort of in your bones that blessings are coming for you. So I think what's happening now, right, is that you maybe are having some sort of discomfort with people, or kind of fear of what people will think, or whatever it is here, as well as blessings that you either have or that are coming in. And I think what your intuition is wanting to speak to you about, what these secret messages are about, it could be about these blessings, it could be about these people, and or it could also be about how to, I think, walk through this gracefully, I want to say. Like, what it looks like for you to say, oh, okay, I know these blessings are coming in. I know there are things that I need to hold back, or people around me who are acting in problematic ways. How do I proceed? How do I move forward in a way that is, you know, balanced, yes, grounded. I feel like this desire from you to just be even in yourself, to find equanimity, right? Like, in the midst of this. And that doesn't mean you can't be angry as it comes up, or sad as that comes up, or really excited and grateful as that comes up. Of course, feel the full spectrum of emotions. But I wonder whether, because you have such intense, I keep wanting to say, visions coming in, like, how do you maintain balance in that? I also wonder whether with these different things, like, if you are somebody who gets premonitions for the future, I wonder whether there's a desire here, or a message coming through from your intuition in these cards that wants to talk about how to stay balanced even when you know what's coming. So if that resonates too, we can look into that. But let's go ahead and get into your tarot, if that resonated, and see what this secret message is that your intuition is ready to reveal. Okay, the first card we have is the Two of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Sun, the Four of Pentacles. I don't think I'm getting my camera to focus. I gotta figure that out. And finally, we've got the Hierophant. Well, that's better. Okay. And on the bottom of the deck, in case it's meaningful to anybody, we've got the Tower. I usually take bottom of the deck as energy that has recently closed out, or a chapter that's recently closed. So let's go ahead and assume that we don't need to worry about seeing the Tower card, and whatever Tower energy has been in your life, that chapter is over. We've closed that book. I put it down on the floor next to me, face down, so that we can't see that Tower. We've had enough. All right. Also, I'm in like just a fun, joyful energy in a way I'm not necessarily usually. I guess I'm usually quite happy, but even more so. So thank you for sharing that energy with me, if that's your energy right now. Okay, what is the secret message that your intuition has for you right now? Okay, the biggest thing I am getting, my eye is going straight to the Sun card. What your intuition wants you to know is immense joy is coming. I think you already know that to an extent. I think you see that coming. I'm getting the message from your intuition that you do not need to balance that when it comes. You are welcome to bask in that. Please feel all the feelings. I'm getting a message of transformation here. So I wonder if you're either transforming into this joy, but that doesn't feel like it's quite it. It feels like your intuition wants to tell you that this is a reward for the work that you've done. These blessings that are coming in. Sure, people can get blessings at any time, and often we are blessed when we're in a space of immense need, right? And it doesn't have this kind of peaceful, joyous feeling to it. But I think right now, one secret your intuition really wants to share that you're ready to hear is that this is a reward for a job well done. I'm getting this sense of like this setting sun, these butterflies, like symbol of transformation, sort of flying away, the day is over. You've done this transforming and now you can bask, right? Like in this immense joy. It feels like contentment as well. But not only, I mean, I think that like more overflowing, buoyant joy is here also. Okay. I think another message your intuition wants to give you is that your blessings are completely protected. This Four of Pentacles is making me feel a type of way. And I can struggle with the Four of Pentacles sometimes, but I'm getting this like right away I saw this vision of almost like a past version of you or an inner child or something, like some fearful part of you that has felt like it needed to protect itself and your energy and your blessings in the past. And this strong message coming through that these blessings are completely protected. This is work that you've done, which says to me, right, it's like blessings are being called in or being attracted to you because of the frequency that you're holding, right? And so like they're yours for that reason. And you're going to appreciate them, steward them, love them, whatever it is, beautifully, because you're ready and you've done the work to be able to receive them, right? So a strong message that your intuition wants you to know is you're not going to lose them. And there might be work for you to do with that, but I get this sense that as these blessings come in, and perhaps they already are, right? I'm getting a strong message from your intuition that there will be guidance for you to help you heal any like kind of remaining fears that you have here. That could be in a spiritual sense. That could be visions that you get, messages that you hear. I know we've been talking about that. That could be a therapist. It could be a book you're reading. But I do get the sense that there is some kind of outside kind of healing or knowledge that's going to help you come in and move this energy and heal this place within you. I don't know if you guys do any inner child work. My therapist is an IFS therapist, in case that's meaningful to anybody, internal family systems. I'm not going to go into it now, but I'm feeling called to bring that up for whatever reason. And I wonder whether there's like some amount of like this part of you, we don't need to banish her, right? Like there's this sense that like we want to get to know her and help her trust where we're at now, which is this beautiful, happy place, so that she can release this energy. Oh, I just like want to give her a really big hug and hold her really tightly. So anyway, that's a beautiful message from your intuition coming through. Like that you're ready to be with and to see and to heal this part of you. Another message that's coming in from your intuition, a secret being revealed. I do think, seeing this Two of Pentacles here and the Chariot, which has like the white and the black, so there's this like idea of balance of forces. I do think whatever is going on for you, as we talked about here, there is this sense and idea of balancing kind of light and dark, or I struggle with that because I'm not somebody who sees the world in like a spiritual warfare type of viewpoint. I mean, if you do, that's fine. Everyone of every belief system is welcome here. But I think for me, I don't see it that way. But I do think that the external energies that you're working through, and I really want to say external, like I don't think this is only within yourself. I mean, it could be that too, but I think it's a reflection if that's the case. I suspect you're seeing people clearly, and so you're seeing things about people that you don't want to see. So whether that's that there is a sneaky person or sneaky people around, or whether it's just that you're aware that people can act in less than wonderful ways, right? And so you're therefore holding some things back, or both, right? And you know there are beautiful blessings that are coming to you, beautiful people in your life, whatever this is. I do think one of the messages from your intuition, these like secrets that are ready to be revealed, is that you can move forward holding both of these things. I wonder whether you are somebody who likes to be sure, or likes to be clear, or likes to have everything aligned in the same direction, or likes to focus on just one thing at a time, or who knows. You want to have a clear vision, a clear sense of the consequences, or where you're going, or what kind of energies are involved, or whatever else, before you take action. I think the message from your intuition is actually that it's completely fine to take action, and in fact encouraged to take action with things as they stand. This beautiful, contented, overflowing happiness, these rewards are coming to you in the midst of this. So if you want to get to a place of equanimity or equilibrium within yourself for the benefit of your nervous system, do that. Feel whatever feelings you need to feel, and then allow yourself to come back to equilibrium if that's meaningful to you. For some people that's really important. I know for myself I have days or moments where that's really important. So by all means do that. This is not an encouragement not to. But I do think that what your intuition is wanting to reveal to you is actually that there's a lot of power and potency in you seeing kind of every part of things. You are being helped. Like your intuition is helping you make space. Your guides or angels or ancestors or whatever it is you believe in. There is energy around you supporting you. And your blessings are actually coming into fruition fully because you are holding and making space for the fullness of what is, the fullness of the human experience, which involves lots of different emotions, lots of different facets and colors and shadows and light, right? I don't want to say gray because I don't want to reduce it all to that. I want to say kind of the play of light and shadow. Oh, I used to know the word for that, but let me not even pretend that I still do. If you do, you know what I'm talking about. Especially in art, I think there's a specific word. It's interesting we've got this bird. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. Coming down here. I mean, there's more than one. And they're probably crows knowing this deck, but that is very similar to the vision that I was having. So I think it's like as you move forward, your intuition is wanting you to know. Your intuition is wanting you to know that you are being watched, protected, guided. I think there's also this sense that you will be alerted if there is something that you need to be concerned about, whether that's somebody's behavior or whether that's something that you need to keep hidden. That will be shared with you. perhaps there's this sense that in the past, I mean, especially, you know, seeing that Tower card before on the bottom of the deck, which we're not going back there, but perhaps you've had to be on your guard. And so you've done a lot of work and you've gotten yourself to a place of balance, right? And so then maybe coming out and being like, oh, I don't want to have to take action, move forward toward my blessings, or almost like holding off, engaging in a way that would allow me to have blessings, because I don't want to go back into that like hyper vigilant, looking over my shoulder, worrying about sneaky people way of being. And the message here is that you don't need to worry about that. You can move forward with what you know now, and you will be alerted if there's something you need to worry about. It's very much that, like, really you can forget about it. I mean, if there's something you know is a problem, set your boundaries accordingly, right? That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if there are things you don't know about, unknowns, you can really just trust that you don't need to worry about it. Not in the sense that nothing might happen. It sounds like something might happen. Who knows? People are people. People are out here peopling, right? But you will be alerted and you will be guided as to how to handle that. Your blessings, again, are protected. So even if people are out here peopling, you'll just be guided as to how to avoid them, right? I'm thinking of when you're driving, you will be redirected. Your GPS will redirect you, okay? So that's not to suggest that something bad is going to happen to you. Your blessings are coming. This reward is coming. You will be protected. Your blessings are protected. You and your loved ones are protected, right? Your GPS will redirect you as needed to protect these blessings. So don't worry about it, not in the sense that nothing bad ever happens, but in the sense that you will be redirected as needed. Are there any other messages from your intuition? I think the strongest thing is just like how very blessed you are. And I think you're going to keep seeing that more and more. Like, you are chosen, you are seen. All of the work that you've done, it's seen. I'm getting this immense message of gratitude. Not just from your intuition, but I want to say from your ancestors as well. So if that's meaningful to somebody, by all means. But I'm getting this, like, please keep going. Please don't be afraid. Please move forward in the world. Because you moving forward, right? Like taking action, trusting, regardless of what it is that you're doing with your time in this energy, you are bringing blessings to others by doing that. Like, you are a guide, perhaps even on accident, right? Like, I mean, maybe you're doing specific guidance work, and by all means, if you are, like, thank you, keep going. The world needs more of that. But I'm getting the sense that you are becoming this wise elder, this beautiful, wise light in the world as you go through all of this, as you just share more of yourself in the world, regardless. Your energy is doing that for people. And there's just this strong sense of like wanting to tell you like that you are a guide. So any healing that you're doing, it's allowing you to kind of step even more into this role of a guide. I also do think there is some kind of spirit guide or ancestor with you who really just wants you to know they're here and they're protecting you really strongly. I'm getting this this message of like, nobody gets through me. Don't worry about it. Yeah, this is very just like the bubble around you is you're fully protected. I got you. I got your back. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, whoever that's meaningful for. that message is there. Okay, so let's just wrap up finally. Can we get 2 cards for pile 2, please? Just for any final messages from their intuition. Okay, they came right out together. Is that really 2? That's awesome. Okay. We've got, see if it'll focus. Maybe. I don't think it will. Okay, the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. Freaking beautiful. Strong major arcana here. I actually didn't even notice that at first when I pulled these cards, but like 3 of the 5 major arcana. So this is obviously a huge thing for you that's going on here. The final message from your intuition is, yes, fate will always be out here fating. The wheel will keep on turning, right? Like, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. That's life. Sometimes people are sneaky, sometimes blessings come in. The wheel does keep on turning. Man, I really wanted to sing to you just then. That's distracting. And there's this emphasis on you having all the tools you need. First of all, to meet this wheel as it turns, right? To make good, regardless of what this wheel is doing or your place on this wheel, right? And there's also a message to say, just repeating. Your intuition really, really wants you to know and wants to leave you with. The work that you did, yes, co-creating, yes, spirit, the universe, the divine was with you. And the work that you did, the work with your hands, the work with your own energy, right, has contributed to the turning of this wheel. It will contribute to the turning of this wheel. It will not control it. The wheel turns. But this reward is a reward for you, for the work that you've done, to say, thank you, you deserve it, you're protected. This is a mirror for you. Your energy has transformed. You've done a beautiful job. You've made something beautiful out of something that was probably incredibly hard, maybe multiple things, I don't know. But whatever the case, this beautiful sun energy, I want to say, is here for you. If it's not here, it is coming, where you feel rewards strongly bringing you to a place of contentment and joy. They are reflecting your authenticity and your truth that you've allowed to come out, that you continue to allow to come out. And the more you kind of release this fear and know that you're protected. Yeah. Okay. So many blessings to you. I mean, they're already coming, but just, I want to extend also my blessings, my protection, my healing energy to you as you go through this and really step into this beautiful joy. Thank you for the work that you've done. And I hope that this healing continues to be a beautiful journey for you. It certainly looks like it will be. So, okay. Those are all the messages that I have for you today. My camera battery decided to die just then. Those are all of the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, you want to like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do, that's great. But regardless, please just take care of yourself, and I hope that I will see you again soon. Bye. Hi, pile 3. If you chose the Tarot of the Divine and this blue Apatite, welcome to your reading. So I have some pre-shuffled oracle cards so that we can find out what the secret message your intuition is ready to share with you is. But before we look at those, I just wanted to say 2 things. One of them is my anxiety has been incredibly high this morning as I prepared to do your reading, and I'm not going to say I never struggle with anxiety personally, but I got the sense that it might also be how you're feeling. So if it is from one person who has moments of struggling with their mental health to another, I'm sending you so much love and peace. I hope that you are able to do whatever you can to take care of yourself, and or just acknowledging that sometimes we're in seasons that make us feel anxious, and good information, helpful information sometimes. So anyway, sending you love. Hopefully this reading does not contribute to or exacerbate that, but we'll have to see. The other thing I wanted to share was when I was meditating before the reading, I kept seeing this image of a heart, and it kept looking like it was being like split down the middle into like a broken heart perhaps, but it was, I don't know, weirder and different than that. So I don't know if that image will come back or if that's meaningful to anybody, but it was just like I was seeing this heart and then it was just like pulling apart like that. So it was almost like something was like being shoved into it to cut it apart. Almost like the image on the traditional Three of Swords, but yeah. So I don't know if that's contributing to your anxiety or something like that is going on. But again, if it is, you're being held, you're safe here. Hopefully this is a moment of calm for you, or of healing or something like that. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at your pre-shuffled oracle cards and see what it is that your intuition wants to speak to you about today. And hopefully this will let you know if you want to stick around for the rest of the reading. So the first card we have is number 32, Obstacle, and it says overcoming a blockage on your path. Excuse me. Okay. The next card we have is Chrysocolla. I don't know if you can see that. Start fresh. The next card is Rainbow Obsidian. Heal your heart. Okay, well, that's on point. I'm going to rearrange these in a second. And finally, we have number 36, 12th house, Escape. Okay, give me a second to just arrange these. Hello. I don't think they're all going to fit in the way I want them to, but that's okay. My plan was to only get one of these crystal cards, but you know what? We needed more. Okay, I think that'll work right here. Okay, so what is it that your intuition is wanting to give you a secret message about that you're ready to hear? This image, this heal your heart image, and like the way the stone is made looks so much like the image that I had when I was meditating. So there's that. I do wonder if this is going to be a message about heart healing for you. I'm also wondering if, I know none of these cards speak directly about needing to speak your truth or speak up for yourself or use your voice in general, whether that's in a creative way. I was thinking of singing or writing or speaking, whether that's in setting a boundary or telling somebody the truth about something. The thought of singing is coming back to me, but regardless, seeing this obstacle card here, overcoming a blockage in your path, I wonder if there has been some way in which your heart has been broken. I mean, most of us have gone through that at some point, right? But in a way that's causing you to feel blocked in using your voice. So that could be that, let's say there's a relationship and it's causing you a lot of pain, and the healing will come through you setting a boundary or speaking truth. It could be that related, right? But I'm also getting the message that it might not be related at all. Maybe there's something that you have pain around, and that's a separate issue, so to speak. But it's causing this place where, even though there's a different arena or place where you want to share your voice, because of this heartbreak that hasn't fully healed, you feel like you're not able to, or it's like you don't have all of your energy back, or you're, the obstacle is almost the broken heart, even though that doesn't, quote unquote, make logical sense. That might be something you already know. That might be part of kind of what your intuition wants to share. But regardless, I think your intuition is wanting to talk to you about this place where I'm getting two things from this escape. One can be that there's some kind of, I should say some kind of, probably multiple kinds of coping mechanisms you're using to escape because this pain was so bad and this obstacle perhaps felt impossible to overcome. And that's not to say that with any shame. I know sometimes escape can be incredibly helpful, right? Like sometimes it is this, just like, I'm gonna zone out and watch a good movie, or, you know, whatever it is, to help yourself be able to deal with something really painful, right? And sometimes we can feel so much more comfortable in that state of escape that we stay there because we don't want to face what's in front of us. I'm getting that message lightly for you, but not super strongly. What I'm actually getting more so is this invitation to dream about what could be better, and that probably what your intuition is wanting to speak to you about is this like different life you could dream up where your heart is whole and you're starting over, and this obstacle, the words that came to me were like melts away. So it's like you're walking down your path, this obstacle is here, right? And it just like melts into the earth because you are living in a different reality, because your heart is whole, because you've started over. Okay, so that seemed like lots of messages already coming through, but if that resonated for you, or if that's something you'd like to hear about, stick around. Let's see from the tarot what secret message your intuition is ready to share. Okay. We've got the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Fool, and the Six of Coins or Pentacles, which I'm just going to cover up that obstacle because why not? We've had enough. Okay, so what is the secret message your intuition wants to give you right now? I mean, right away my eye is going to the Fool and the Six of Coins. And the message coming through here is, yes, there is a new beginning very strongly here. It feels lucky, it feels blessed, it feels generous. I'm getting the message that like you are both the person giving the coins and the person receiving the coins. So, I mean, that doesn't mean that you won't be sharing generously with others and others won't be sharing generously with you. But this idea that this new beginning is very much a gift you're giving to yourself. I'm hesitating because I know a lot of people speak about like, oh, if you want love, like love yourself first. And like, yes, sure, fine. For me personally, I've really struggled with like, what does that mean? And it has actually been a beautiful experience for me to figure out what that means. Annoyed though I might have been in moments, to figure out what it was that when I received it, it actually did make me happy. I'll just share this personally in case this is helpful to anybody, but I've always been a bit of a traditional hopeless romantic type, if you will, and I love kind of traditional things. And so people say like, oh, like buy yourself flowers and do this and that. It's like, it sounds like it would make me happy. And I was surprised to realize that it didn't, or that I didn't even really feel motivated. I mean, once in a while I bought myself flowers, but like it wasn't like, they were beautiful and they made me smile, but it wasn't what I was hoping it was. And I think I actually got to know myself so much better through that process. And it was like, oh, like what would I really want someone to know about me personally, and therefore do for me, or ways to spoil me, you know. For me with a massive tarot deck collection, right? It would be buying myself a new deck and being like, oh, like let me spend time with this. And you know, I found different ways to spoil myself, I guess. I bought a bunch of astrology books for myself for my birthday, right? Like I got to know like what it was that actually made my heart sing in a really particular way. And I'm sharing that, hopefully not, you know, you're not already bored, but to say like maybe there is like part of this new beginning is you discovering what it is that you want by doing nice things for yourself. And figuring out what really made you feel cared for, seen, loved, things like that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at the rest of this. What I think, one major secret message your intuition wants to share with you is that because of whatever you've been through, and this is not at all to shame you, like this is what our bodies and nervous systems do, right? Whatever it is you've been through, and it obviously something really terrible and painful and betrayal and whatever else, it's causing your energy to like, and I want to say like full-bodied, visceral, all of your energy, like physical as well as emotional and mental, right? Especially physical, to go towards setting boundaries. I want to say seeing the negative or seeing people who are coming after you or things like that. But I don't want to make it sound like that's all in your head. You could be hypervigilantly looking out for that, but I actually am not getting that message either. The message I'm getting is that because your energy is directed toward protecting yourself, you are accidentally finding yourself in situations where you need to protect yourself. It's like you had to probably escape, run away from something. I mean, we talked about that up here somewhat. You probably couldn't directly, if you will. And again, I don't mean this with any shame. I mean this with absolute love. Like, we can only handle so much pain at once, right? And probably there are things that happened to you that broke your heart that you were not able to process fully at the time. Again, just because like humans can only process so much. And that's actually one of the beautiful gifts of the 12th house, right? Is this ability to surrender into something else so that we don't have to feel all of something as it's happening, right? And I think like you're probably in the healing process here with this. And something you're ready to see is that your body's energy has been in this place of protection, which, like, can we pause and say thank you to the parts of you that have been protecting you? Because I'm sure that's what you needed, and I'm really grateful to those parts. And because I had this emphasis, or this feeling of emphasis on like that coming from a place within you kind of viscerally, I suspect it wasn't something you like quote unquote asked it to do, whether that's because these things happened when you were too young to ask, or whether this is something, you know, that your body just naturally did for you. You've got a body that fights and wants to protect you and wants to care for you and wants you to know that you're precious. And I bet you're exhausted. So that could be emotionally, mentally, spiritually exhausted, but I bet you're physically feeling some exhaustion. And I mean, we all do from time to time. There are lots of reasons to feel exhausted, right? So maybe you weren't even pinpointing that as related to this betrayal and this heartbreak, right? And I bet, and this is coming more so from me personally, right? But like for me, sometimes when I've been going through really hard things, that escape gives me enough energy or dopamine to get through, right? So sometimes that's needed to get that little bit more energy so I can keep fighting and keep getting up every day, right? And sometimes it becomes really draining. Sometimes it takes away our life force. So I think what your intuition wants you to know is I'm getting this strong message of like, it's time to walk away. You can leave this behind. And that's not so easy as like snapping your fingers or telling yourself, okay, I'm done with it. That probably does involve somatic healing, right? And there are so many ways, so many resources you can look into that. You can Google that or whatnot. My therapist has training in somatic healing. I know some do. That's like energy work related as well. Like there are probably lots of free resources on YouTube. So whatever the case, I do think there's this invitation to do whatever work you need to do to really care for your body, to tell your nervous system that you don't have to be in this fight or flight, fight particularly, like place of protection, ready for more heartbreak. You can kind of walk away from this escape, not because everything in your life is perfect, but because you're able to set the boundaries. Whatever it is that broke your heart here, that particular issue, I'm getting this sense that you are not actively in it anymore. If you are, please do what you need to do to separate yourself from that. But I get the sense that it's older, not to say that your subconscious mind doesn't think it's still actively happening. Trauma is hard, right? But I do think the secret message your intuition is ready and I think excited to share with you is that this particular part of it, this like I need to be on my guard all the time, you are ready to put that down. And that's a gift you're giving yourself. Bringing it back to this idea with your voice or the throat, right? It's so funny that I kept thinking of singing and we've got like the Little Mermaid depicted here. One message I'm getting is that if there are things you've had a hard time saying out loud, journaling them could be really meaningful. I'm especially seeing visions of anger needing to come out. So like journaling, you like this person is horrible and stupid and whatever the specifics are in your case. Like really letting yourself be in that anger and saying whatever you need to say and letting it move through your body. I think that could be really beneficial for you. If you want to share that, of course, that's your business. But I often find with anger, like letting it move through me, getting it out, saying all the things, you know, in a journal or going to a rage room or whatever it is and letting it move through you. When I'm done with that kind of exercise, for myself anyway, one of the ways I close it out is not just have this cathartic, like crying, oh, I can't believe I'm so hurt. It can be, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think I keep getting incredibly distracted all of a sudden. My eye is also going to this this mermaid and how she is like a little bit, we're showing a little bit here and YouTube doesn't love that. So I'll cover that up with this obstacle here. But that's interesting, right? Because like nudity often speaks of vulnerability and things like that. And I wonder if like what's coming through here is this like, I don't want to be vulnerable. And if that's true, that's okay. What I was going to say to finish my thought about the anger is often, speaking of vulnerability, the way that I will kind of be able to close and calm down, like that part of me that is really angry and hurt, is to, sorry, of course, there is yard work. The distractions today are wild. I really hope that's not picking up super loudly. All right, if it is, my apologies. I really want to finish this thought, but apparently the powers that be are trying to stop that. You know what, let me pause for a second. Okay, I think we've got less noise, but let's see. The irony of there being an obstacle or blockage in your path and me feeling like there has been an obstacle. It's not lost on me. Maybe there's a lot of noise around you that's making it really hard for you to see that you can walk away or that you don't have to have your guard up. What I was so desperately trying to say is often when I'm trying to work through anger, channeling it into boundaries around myself, that strong back, soft front that I think I initially read about in one of Brene Brown's books. That energy often allows me to feel like, because I know I have boundaries in place, because I tell that angry part of me, it's allowed to sit next to me. Oh, hello. Okay. It's allowed to sit next to me and hang out and be ready to be on guard should I need it, but I don't need it all the time. That usually helps me move into a more vulnerable place. The other thing I would say is realizing I can be vulnerable with me did a lot of good for me in my healing journey. The parts of me that judged me, that I did work with, that I was able to release, places where I had picked up other people's judgments or beliefs or values or whatever it was, right? That was really meaningful. Also for me, really carefully identifying the like 3 safe people that I had in my life, that I knew I could go to and like be held, not because they were perfect or I'm perfect, right? But because like they were people who I knew just cared about me no matter what. That is something that also helped me a lot, and to settle into and relax into the belief that like, oh, I am lovable, I am safe. I'm saying a lot about this and in a way that makes me wonder if this is like a childhood trauma thing for you. And it's okay if it's not, but I also, I guess, just want to say like, if it is, you're definitely not alone. And yes, the process is long, but I think your intuition is excited to share with you. Oh dear God, the noise is back. Wow. Okay, I think it's done. I think what your intuition, the secret message your intuition is excited to share with you, is that this past pain has been the obstacle and it's within your power. No, literally it was silent and then it came right back. All right, I think that the lovely humans who were doing the yard work are no longer there. I think. We'll see. What I wanted to say was the secret that your intuition is really excited to share with you is that you are ready to turn your head, right, like away from this pain, these boundaries, this wall that you've built, this drama, and redirect it towards yourself, towards pouring into yourself. I don't want to say these obstacles are false at all, for lots of reasons, because I bet there are annoying things going on in your life for real, and I don't want you to not take them seriously. I also don't want to suggest that it isn't incredibly difficult and painful, and there aren't blockages in all kinds of ways when we've been through any kind of heartbreak, right? Let alone like trauma or childhood pain or anything like that. What I think though is that if one of the main obstacles for you is a fear of vulnerability, even within yourself, just like what even is true for you? What do you want to say? Doing this work will make that particular obstacle fall away. And I suspect you will find that your voice, like you're able to use it and share it in whatever way in situations that are not related to this, because you've been able to hear yourself. To even have built a foundation to be able to do this kind of work, it might not feel like that to you, but I think you've obviously been a fighter. You've been really strong. And your intuition is coming through to say thank you for that. Because again, like, as painful as this is, and as much as I don't want you to feel like you forever have to stay in a place where you have to be looking over your shoulder and protecting yourself, the fact that you were able to do it is beautiful, right? And so again, I want to thank the parts of you that did that. And we don't want to get rid of them, right? We just want to allow them to rest for a minute. And so your intuition is excited to tell you that one way to help these parts rest, at least, is to really start doing things, tangible things, right? This is coins, tangible things to help yourself feel safe to use your voice, even again, if at first it's just with you or just with a few trusted friends or family members. I think you'll be surprised that when you're in other situations, these blockages will not be there, or they'll be much easier. They'll be like little speed bumps to step over, right? Versus feeling like, oh, I've really got to just beat through this wall. I don't think you're going to have to do that. I think it will be a lot easier to get around challenges in this particular, or these particular challenges, because your voice will be stronger. Okay, are there any other messages before we get a couple final thoughts from your intuition? My eye keeps going back to this Chrysocolla Start Fresh card. And I know it's not the same, this is blue Apatite, but it is sort of reminding me there. I wonder whether there is something you're wanting to quote unquote start over with. Could be something quote unquote small, right? Like getting a haircut, buying a new outfit, something like that. Maybe it's taking a new class. Maybe it's listening to a new kind of music, or getting excited about a new topic or genre of movie or TV show or something like that. It feels unrelated in a sense to like all of this other stuff we've been talking about, but it feels like some kind of like something to bring you a little joy, a little fun, something to lighten your heart. And I wonder if it's something to have like a healthy quote unquote escape, because anytime you're doing healing work, it's heavy, right? So I wonder if there's this like invitation to say like, do something joyful that you can get into that feels completely brand new, so you're not associating it with any other part of your life. It's something that's just for you, that allows you to have an escape from the intensity that life can be sometimes. And I think that's going to really help give you a foundation, actually. Like, it won't just be an escape, like your main job is to heal, and then this is like a nice side escape. I saw 444 on the camera timer when I was talking about this. I actually think this is the foundation. I think your joy, and even if it's something very small, I think that's the foundation. And then as moments come up, as you need to do healing work or release things or let out your anger or whatever, let that be the thing that's on the side. But really let this like new beginning and joy and really pouring into yourself be the main foundation for you as you start moving forward. Yeah. Okay. I want to get 2 final cards. Got the Wild Unknown pocket-sized tarot deck here, and I just want to see any final messages from your intuition. They could be related or not, but okay. Oops. Oh, I'm having hard to decide where I should put it. Got the 9 of Cups. Okay. Well, that's a whole lot. Can we just get one, please? One final card for pile 3. And we've got the Daughter or the Page of Cups. Okay. Hello. They're not going to be straight. I'm going to have to just live with that. And you have Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck, which is beautiful. I definitely think good is coming for you. And in some sense, yes, I think it's something that you're doing to free yourself. But as I said, I think as you do that, you'll be excited to see that your external life gets quote unquote easier, or feels easier, or less like you have to kind of be on your guard. But I think the final message from your intuition that's excited to share is that you're going to find this contentment and this happiness that you've wanted as you find safe spaces to be vulnerable. And again, I don't think that's to say like you can't have, if this is related to like romantic love, let's say, it's not to say like, oh, you need to just focus on you and you can't have that. You have whatever you want. I don't know what's on your path and what's going to come up for you. And in my experience, the divine works in very magical and strange ways. I think the point though is, as you are able to see your own colors, because you are taking the time to really diligently, tangibly pour into yourself. Emotionally, yes, but as I said, really tangibly, like with your time, with your money, right? With your values, really saying, okay, hold on. What is meaningful to me? How do I need to or want to be taken care of? What does safety look like for me? What do I need to be able to speak truth? What kind of boundaries? As you do that, you're going to really see your own beauty so strongly, and you might even be surprised by some of it. Some of it might be different from how you thought you were, kind of like the example that I shared, right? And that is power, honestly. Yes, it's your vulnerability, but it's also like you knowing what you need. So when you enter into any kind of relationship, when you look for a job, when you engage with somebody in your family, when you hang out with a friend, when you pursue romantic relationships, right? Oh my God, the interruptions though. When you do any of those things, you will know what you need. Those parts of you will have come back to life. You will have given them voice, even if only to yourself, and that will allow you to know whether things are for you or not. So this space of like being fulfilled and content that I often think the Nine of Cups represents, having your cups overflow, that's because you know what fills your cups. It doesn't mean you can't let other people help you fill them. It's that you know what they are. You know them intimately. You're no longer trying to find joy based on what other people tell you to do. You've built a foundation on your own joy, what brings you life and what fills your heart, right? You've taken that time with you in that tender space. You've reparented yourself, if you will. And I know that's like a lifelong process, but you've done it enough that these boundaries come naturally for you, right? Like vulnerability is a strength because it tells you where your boundaries should be. You don't have them up all the time. You can focus on goodness, because when things are out of alignment with that goodness you're looking towards, you will be able to walk away much, much, much more easily. So I think what the final message your intuition wants to share with you is like, good times are coming, contentment is coming, you are so safe, you are so loved, and it's going to be incredibly rewarding to not only get to do that for yourself and get to know yourself better, but to watch the world reflect that back to you in miraculous ways you could not even imagine. So yeah, I think those are all of the messages that I have for you today, Pile 3. I am sending you so much love. Thank you for bearing with me through a rather exciting reading full of interruptions and obstacles. I just want to send so much love from my heart to yours. If you enjoyed this reading and you would like to like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever pleases you, please feel free to do that. Thank you so much for anything you do to support me. But regardless, please take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye. Hey, pile number 4. If you chose the Muse Tarot and this green Aventurine, welcome to your reading. We're going to just put your tarot deck aside while we look at some pre-shuffled oracle cards, and these are going to tell us what it is that your intuition is going to reveal a secret message about. So let's go ahead and take a look. The first card you got is number 11, Pluto, with the keyword transformation. The next card you got is Apatite, get out of your comfort zone. And finally, you have card number 38, Success. I think it'll focus. Okay. Gradual success with thoughtful actions. Okay. That is fascinating because I don't think I felt called to do this with any of the other groups, but I felt called to look up on the Googles the meaning of the green aventurine. And it said it was known as the stone of opportunity because it was one of the luckiest stones for success in new ventures. So the fact that we have success here, definitely saying something. I mean, we do have apatite, which is interesting because that was the stone for pile 3. But regardless, let's focus here on what it is that your intuition is going to come through with a secret message about. This is strong energy. Sorry, it's taking me a second to even like settle in. I feel like there's so much going on. That could be because there are so many different things this could be, or just that there are so many facets to it. So bear with me while I attempt to jump in here. I do get the sense that right now there's something going on you feel uncertain about, and I do think it's something big. This could be, like, the first clear message is that it's something career-wise. So that could be you starting a business, you kind of starting a side hustle, something like that, you getting a promotion, you doing something new, you starting a new program, you've just graduated, right? Like, it could be so many things. But I get the sense that it really marks a strong transformation for you, right? Like, this is not, oh, I'm getting a promotion that I've kind of seen coming and I've been working towards, or oh, like my whole life I've been preparing to go to law school and now I've just gotten, I'm going to start law school. It could be something like that, but if it is something like that, I still think there's probably a strong component of, hold on, this is more or different than I was expecting, or it just feels like it's marking this immense chapter, I want to say, in your life. Like, I get the sense that you feel like you're standing in a threshold and you're about to walk into a brand new life in whatever way. It feels like in a really identity sense, like maybe your identity currently feels ungrounded, and that could be something you're conscious of or not, but something where like who you've known yourself to be is currently in transition. This could be something you've already done or already started. I don't want to negate that or something you're looking towards, but I'm getting a strong sense of standing in a threshold for most of you. Especially with this, like, get out of your comfort zone card here. I mean, you can take that as a literal, piece of advice if that's meaningful to you, but I sort of see it less in that way and more of a sense of like you are currently in your comfort zone and you are already looking towards or in the process of moving towards leaving that comfort zone and transforming, right? So let's talk about this success piece. That wouldn't be a hidden secret message, right? This is supposed to be just grounding us. So I wonder if this is something that you have either taken many thoughtful actions or steps towards, or whether this is something that you need to be very thoughtful about the unfolding of, right? Like, as you step into this new chapter for yourself, you want to do it in a very thoughtful way. It could be either, it could be both. But regardless, I do think there's this strong sense, and again, I mean, maybe this is already a, secret being revealed, but I think this is something you already intuitively sense, that this is something that is going to be very successful for you, in whatever way. But I do feel like it's likely to be monetarily successful, if that resonates for you. Now, I'm trying to pause because I'm trying to think, could this be about something else besides kind of career or vocation or something like that? Certainly it could. I think I'm going to probably read it strongly in that sense because I think for most of you, that's what we're looking at. But if for you, this is something else, this is like relationship focused or focus on spiritual growth or something, certainly it could be that. I think anything that you either have or want to work towards in a step-by-step way, I think would count here. So that could be building a happy, healthy family, right? That could be deep spiritual growth and transformation for you. Like that could be a lot of different things. So I think all the messages still apply, right? Like this feels like a brand new chapter. It feels like you're really embarking on something new for yourself. I just got this also like moving to a new location, especially like somewhere, you know, foreign, overseas, whatever that might be. Kind of starting a brand new life. So it certainly could be something like that as well. Yeah. But I think because that message of kind of like monetary compensation coming is so strong, I will probably keep focusing there, but I'm sorry, like feel free to adjust the messages as needed. Okay. Is that it for setting the stage? No, why do I feel like there's still more with the stone? Opportunity, luck, success, what else? I think that your intuition is just wanting me to stress how lucky this time is for you. For me personally, sometimes that can read as like if I know I'm in the threshold and then I have this like, oh, it's gonna be great. That can read as sort of like this get out of your comfort zone in a kick you in the butt kind of way. And again, if that's helpful to you, that's fine. That can cause me personally a bit of anxiety, so I'm sharing that in case that's true for you as well. Yeah, I don't think that's what's being said. I think what's being said is as you step out of the threshold in a way that feels thoughtful and meaningful to you, and stable, I would say, because as I said, I think you're like stepping into a new identity, and I'm getting the sense that like doing that quote unquote slowly, which I don't mean don't keep at it or that it will develop slowly. I guess I mean more so intentionally. So like you being calm and stable as much as possible in yourself and taking those measured steps is actually going to be very lucky. And I'm getting the sense that like probably pretty quickly it will bring you success in whatever way. That still might be something that builds over time, like more and more success. But I do think there will be some kind of fast success that's coming as you just kind of slowly ground and build with intention. Yeah, okay. That already felt like a lot of message, but let's see what secret message your intuition is now ready to share. Also, I keep wanting to call you pile 3, and that could be because of this apatite here, but honestly that was happening when I was meditating before the reading. And could be pile 3 would be meaningful to you. I honestly don't remember what it was about, but more so I'm getting the sense that 3 is a really creative number. And it's the first number numerologically, if I remember correctly, because I am in no way, shape, or form expert in numerology. But it's the first number, I believe, that can create stability, like a 3-legged stool is how I like first learned about it. So there's this sense of like, oh, this is like the first step in the new beginning, with some kind of creative change for you. Okay, so for pile 4, the secret message, let's go. We've got, whoa, hello, we've got the Knight of Materials, or Knight of Pentacles. Okay, that makes sense what I was saying. The 8 of Emotions, or 8 of Cups. All right, interesting. The Page of Inspiration, or Wands. The Queen of Inspiration, or Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Voices, or Queen of Swords. Look at that. I mean, that's a lot. You got Emperor as well on the bottom of the deck. Okay. And I just saw 11:11 on the camera timer. This is exciting. I did feel the energy really strongly when I was meditating, more intense than any of the other piles, certainly, so had to ground myself quite a bit. So let's talk. Wow. The secret message that you're ready to hear. I mean, first of all, that you're like unstoppable and amazing. Pause this reading, pause whatever you're doing, please. Go look in the mirror and like, look at how unstoppable you are. Wow. I hope that's not a secret for you, but if it is, you know what? Your intuition knows. You're ready to know that you're unstoppable and amazing. The energy is so intense. Okay. In so many ways, but really, really, really positive. I know sometimes this like Pluto energy and transformation can seem so scary, especially if you're in this threshold space and you feel like you've really like lost a sense of who you were in a grounded way. But wow, I mean, I just want to tell you, like, there's only sunshine on the other side. I mean, that's not to say that nothing bad is ever going to happen to you, right? But like, I just see freedom and sun for you, and in a really grounded way, in a really smart way. Okay, let me try to calm down here. I do get the sense that you either have, again, been like working slowly towards something, or that you think that's like what is coming next. Excuse me. Especially if you've been doing that and then you know you're on this threshold, part of what can be overwhelming, especially if you intuitively sense there's big success coming to you, you could think, okay, well, the only way to get big success and the only way I've gotten here is by moving, you know, kind of slowly and intentionally towards it. So I'm going to have to keep doing that. And you might be honestly exhausted or just not really looking forward to that, especially again when the energy feels so intense and exciting. You might have this like, how the heck do I take all of this intensity and this passion and this enthusiasm and build it in a slow way, when like that's not the way you're feeling. And actually, I think the first kind of secret message your intuition wants to share with you is that you don't necessarily need to do that. I do think you're going to move forward with intention, as I said before, but I don't think that you're going to be, I think your success is going to be fast. I think it's going to be faster than you think. And if whatever you're doing is something where you've been told that success, you know, comes over time, it's something you got to put, you know, 2, 5, 10 years into, I'm hearing. I don't think that's going to be true for you. And I don't necessarily mean you're going to be an overnight success. You're going to go viral. You're going to be, you know, have your hit go to the top of the charts kind of thing immediately. That's possible. But I guess even if something like that happens, I think you have staying power. There's a message here saying like, you're not a one-hit wonder. You might get this giant hit. It might come out of nowhere. And I mean, I'm using that metaphorically, although feel free to take that if you're a musician or something. But I mean that much more so metaphorically. But I get the sense that whatever stories you're telling about how this is going to be a long, drawn-out process, they are not correct. You've got big success coming to you. The first taste of which you will have quite quickly. And I keep pausing on this because I keep feeling like there will be sizable success soon. I've never gotten a message like that, but here we are. Okay. The next message your intuition wants to share that you're ready to hear. As you're following threads of inspiration for yourself, as you're saying, wait, I'm kind of excited about this, let me, you know, intentionally ground this thing or whatever, or especially if you're somebody like me, it's kind of like you need these kind of moments to inspire you to do something when it's hard or scary or whatever it is, especially if it's new, which again, I get the sense that this is. As you get those moments and those bursts of inspiration, as much as you can, listen to them, ground them. And I think very quickly you will be surprised at how comfortable you are doing those things, how much confidence you have. It's almost like this, like I'm seeing somebody who's learning to do something new. Like let's say you're learning to play piano and it's like you get inspired to sit down at the piano, but you have this sort of fear or this story that like, you know, being excellent at playing the piano takes, you know, 5 years, let's say. I have literally no idea, but let's say. and you have to do it every day and play the scales over and over again, right? And like keep working on these hard things. And all of that's true. I don't want to discount any of that. But what's coming through is because you've got these stories in your head, again, that are true about how much time it takes and all of this. One thing that you're not maybe seeing clearly or recognizing is that you have so much natural talent for the piano in this example, right? I want to say natural talent, but also like all of this work that you've done building leading up to now is actually going to translate. And maybe that's not obvious to you. Maybe what you've done is adjacent or even completely different. And so it's not obvious to you how it will translate. But I think that like very quickly when you sit down at the piano, you'll see that it just comes naturally. It comes easily. So even if you have to sit down and, you know, play your scales over and over again, like everybody else does, it's going to flow. It's going to feel like you're in a flow state. It's going to feel right, I want to say. It's going to be something that like warms your soul. I'm thinking of, this is going to sound like a random side story, but anyway, I went to lots of musicals as a sort of, you know, young-ish preteen. Because my family happened to live in London. My dad was stationed there, and so we got to like kind of go see shows in the West End more often than I think most people would. And that was fun and that was exciting, and I remember thinking like just how much joy I felt watching people who were born to be on the stage. And that's what I'm seeing for you with this Queen of Inspiration here, is like this, like you're like, oh, I was born to do this. It's like whatever it is, and I'm using this kind of piano metaphor, but it's like you sit down on the bench and your fingers hit the keys and it's like, oh, this is what I was born to do. So I think like that's, you know, the secret that you're ready to hear is that this crazy success isn't going to be some kind of external only like one-time thing or something. It's coming because you're so talented and so gifted, and this is what you were born to do. I just had this, I paused because I had this like, oh, I should temper that statement, and I was like, no, I shouldn't. that's my own stuff, or maybe your fear that I'm hearing, or both of us. Wanting to like make this smaller, make you smaller, temper this feeling, and there's honestly no reason to. I think you're probably somebody who is very tempered, or at least tempered about this, and you don't need to be. I don't need to tell you to not get a big head here or not overinflate your ego, because I suspect your ego is not inflated enough. So let's just talk about how great you are again. As much as you can lean into knowing how gifted you are at whatever it is you're trying to do, the better. So do that. I just got this message, right? Again, I was seeing you kind of on this threshold and thinking, okay, wow, I have like a lot of work ahead of me. And I'm kind of feeling ungrounded, and I'm leaving behind an identity, and I don't really know what this new identity is, and it's going to take time. I think you're going to be shocked at how easily this new identity comes out of you, flows out of you, that you're in flow, and you're like, wait, I'm a piano player. You know, like I'm incredible at this. I think you're going to see yourself really differently, really quickly as well. Because even though I know we don't have more pentacles here besides like this initial Knight of Pentacles, which I actually think you're sort of leaving behind, this actually feels incredibly grounded. Like it feels very grounded, passion. This is, again, like something I was born to do, made to do, but it's coming through me in this beautiful, embodied, visceral way. Let's talk about this Queen of Voices. As she's like looking back at this Queen of Wands, I'm really seeing this sense that she is, that's like your intellect or reflective part, right? Understanding, recognizing, seeing this new identity, seeing it for what it is, seeing it for the value it holds, and like allowing that knowledge to help permeate and ground what and who you are. It could be also that what you're doing has a communication component to it. You know, in my piano player example, maybe you're singing as well. Maybe you're, I'm getting a strong sense that for some of you, this is an encouragement to put yourself out there, to quote unquote market in whatever way, to speak about who and what you are, that you're going to have like inspired words come from you to explain this new identity, and that's going to help contribute to your success. And for those of you who hate the word market or marketing, like I sort of do, you don't have to take it in such a literal way. It could literally be just you know, saying to yourself, like, I'm a piano player now. And that like identity shift in and of itself, when you speak to people, you know, people ask you, what do you do? And you're like, well, I play the piano professionally, whatever. That in and of itself counts, if you will. I feel like I'm getting more messages here. What else? There's a strong message of protection, that this is protected for you. I got that message with the candle as well. There's some kind of protection. Is it that your success is protected? I mean, one major message coming through from your intuition is that you are protected. So I don't know what that means for you personally. I hope you're not literally feeling unsafe, although if you are, I am so sorry, and I very much hope and pray that protection comes for you. But I think I'm getting this in a more like psychic or energetic sense, perhaps emotional as well, that your intuition is really wanting you to know that you are protected, that this is protected, and maybe even inviting you to do things to step into a feeling of protection. Like, especially when somebody is really magnetic and attractive, as I was kind of saying, or like you think about somebody just lighting up when they're on the stage or performing or doing whatever it is they were born to do in my example, right? You might consider doing things to protect yourself. And people talk about different ways of doing this. For me, even visualizing is huge. So just visualizing in whatever way. I often do it with the elements, or I have friends that I find to be very protective, and I will like really sit and like meditate and picture things coming up and like physically surrounding me so that I feel protected. And that could be really beneficial to you, especially if you are somebody who is psychically or energetically sensitive. Often people who are deeply creative are. That could also kind of keep you focused on what it is that lights you up, rather than kind of thinking about or worrying about what other people are liking or wanting or doing. Because this feels, I mean, this Queen of Wands with her eyes closed, this feels like it's coming so organically from you, that could be really important for you. What else? Sorry, I just think I have such a strong energy coming off of this Queen of Voices card, and I want to make sure I get all the messages here. Yeah, there's this like this strong, like I'm talking about this, like you're protected. It also feels like your mental space. Again, it's like I see you with your eyes closed, and this like whatever's happening here, whatever creative inspiration is going on, you're safe in that space. I wonder if you're somebody where that actually feels overwhelming. Like if you are deeply creative, I'm thinking of like Piscean energy, and you don't have to be a Pisces or have any placements there even, but like that like very imaginative, like I can get lost in things. If that's something that happens to you and that's been almost overwhelming or scary before, because it can be, right? Even when it's beautiful, because you can feel like you're really ungrounded. I think a message here is actually that you have done enough work and developed enough in many other ways to enable that to be really safe, to be able to come in and out of that space of inspiration with a lot more of a sense of self. I wonder if you either have like a really strong like intellectual space, or that's something that you've intentionally developed, like you feel very in command of your mind. But I think one secret your intuition is really wanting to get across here is that like you are safe within yourself. Like you're not going to get lost in the sauce, as it were. Yeah. Okay. I think that that's it. When I like pause and just kind of sit with this energy, again, it feels so beautiful. It feels so creative. It feels like I feel this strong life force energy, an energy that I might associate with the Empress card. I know that's not here, but your foundation is set. Like, you did whatever work you needed to do. I'm not saying it'll never need any maintenance or anything, but like whatever foundational work you need to do, it's there. You are so safe to like dive into this creativity, step out of this threshold, take this opportunity, and watch yourself rapidly become somebody else. And I want to say somebody that you are so proud of, so happy to be, so joyful to inhabit. Wow, that's just beautiful. Okay, I feel like I want to just sit here and give you more messages and pull you more cards and tell you more things, but let's go ahead and wrap this up for you. I'm going to just pull 2 final cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot, just to get any final messages that your intuition wants to share with you about this. Okay. Final messages, please, for pile 4. I just keep hearing that in my head, like, you're so protected. This is so protected. As you step out of this threshold, don't worry, like, we are surrounding you. I don't know who we is. We're talking about your intuition here, but, you know, your spirit guides, angels, friends, energies, whatever it is, benevolent forces, they got you. Cards are not coming out quickly for pile 4. Okay. We got 2. Look at that. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, and we've got the Emperor. Okay, listen. I mean, we already saw the Emperor on the bottom of the deck, but that's beautiful. A beautiful confirmation. And this Ace of Pentacles is gorgeous. Yeah. Go ahead, start something new, because you've got this. I don't want to just repeat what I've said, but sorry, I was pausing because I don't know that this is supposed to be in the artwork a solar eclipse, but that's what it looks like to me. That like a ring of fire experience. When you see a total solar eclipse, that feels again like this like transformative, like everything is going to be different. And I think you know that on some level, but I guess I just want to say again, like, this is a brand new, not even chapter, this is a brand new book. Like, you have, whatever book you were reading, it's closed. This is complete and total transformation for you. And it's like, whatever it has in it, whatever you're starting, it is the seed of like this giant tree, right? Like, again, even though this might feel creative and passionate, I think that's why I keep pausing, because if I feel this like immense intensity and excitement from you, and maybe you're just afraid like of whether that's going to be grounded, whether that's going to even stay with you, right? Like, maybe you're somebody, like, I'm calling myself out with this for sure a little bit here. Aries is as Aries does sometimes. And there can be this sense that like I can get excited about anything and anyone at any time. But it's short-lived. And so I think this final message is like, this passion is not short-lived. Whatever this is, whatever new life you're stepping into, it has the potential to grow into this giant tree. And I guess the last thing I would say about that is, I was actually reading something about this yesterday or the day before about the Emperor card in one of my guidebooks. The Emperor has this stability, right, and longevity, yes, but the Emperor is also flexible. So don't be afraid, like this might morph and change or something, but this is like the path that you're on. So don't think that whatever you're doing, it's like locked in, it has to be that forever. You know, maybe you start playing piano and you're playing one type of music, and then you're inspired by other things and you play a different kind, and eventually you develop your own style of music. I don't know. I don't know music, so let me not pretend. But you get my point, hopefully, with that metaphor. Whatever's happening here, you might not be able to picture it. In fact, I think that you can't, and I think that's part of the beauty of it. That's probably also part of the reason it's scary. But whatever this is, whatever is coming, it's going to come out of you. Let it develop over time. There will be quick success, but that doesn't mean it isn't something that you will grow into. It will grow into this beautiful tree that will be flexible. Yes, you're in the very beginning stages. Also, this is what's inside of that seed, the potential for this. And I think you will see that potential in a grounded, manifest way that people want to pay you for quickly. So yeah, as you're ready, take that leap, jump out of that threshold, and realize not just that you're protected, but there are people there, angels catching you, right? But also that it feels really good to do it. So enjoy that. Enjoy doing what it is that you were born and made to do, and surprise yourself. Yeah. I think I'm going to leave that there. Pile 4, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did and you'd like to like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever makes you happy, that would be wonderful. Thank you very much. But regardless, I hope that you take care of yourself, and I hope that I will see you again soon. Take care.